Sisters in Sin.
And Crisis.
And crisis. It's okay to have a crisis. You are overdue a crisis.
I've been listening to that song so often.
I know. So if you're curious about what that was, that is the song Cigarettes and Sabotage by All Time Low.
Like, it's poetic genius.
It is.
It's so good.
Their newest album is brilliant, and as a longtime fan, now that they are no longer represented by Fueled by Ramen, and they represent themselves with Basement Noise Records, you should listen to their latest album. It is amazing.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's
I love it.
The best to date. All right. Well, I'm Brittany.
I'm Kelly.
This is Smut Swap. Welcome back to you, Tony, because we know that you're our only longtime listener. And if you're not subscribed already, what the fuck are you waiting for?
Hit it.
Hit
the button.
Hit smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified when we upload a new video. It's every other Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, we're not much. We're not a lot.
Only sometimes.
2 hours of your time.
And you could listen to it 2 times speed, and it's fine. We won't be offended. Just like and subscribe and follow and share and tell your friends that love smut that you have a smut podcast that's amazing. Okay?
Yes. Please and thank you.
Or else.
Or else Brittany will do something to you. I'll watch.
Threat. What are you reading?
Oh shit, what am I reading? Not much has changed. I'm reading The Troop by that one guy.
Nick Cutter?
Yes. That's it.
Oh, that's it?
I'm trying to finish. I finished Schoolgasm. I just need to wrap up my notes. I finished Hat Trick, which I think I finished that weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
That's it? Well, I am not reading anything because I finished this book the other day, and then I didn't read last night because the boys came over to record at like 7 p.m. and we didn't wrap until almost 9. And then I was like, I'm just going to go on TikTok until it's time to go to sleep.
Checks out. I do that too.
Yeah, I think that I will probably start The Right Move today.
Okay. What's that about?
That's the Kelly.
Oh,
She's
that's
fired.
the one for... I'm sorry.
She's fired.
Listen, I have a headache.
Hi, my name's Brittany, and I am looking for a new co-host.
I already quit on you once this week.
Yeah, she did. I forget why. Oh, because I said something. I talked shit about Stranger Things.
Yeah, definitely not. Go listen to that podcast, but they will slander Stranger Things, and you might get mad.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like their MO. We just...
And they don't even watch the show.
No, all we do is fight on that show, each other.
Yes.
Anyway, so I think that I'm going to start The Right Move by Liz Tomford tonight. I do have plans this evening. By the time this episode goes up, it will be well past me seeing Phantom of the Opera in Chicago. But yeah, that's about it. Nothing crazy going on. We're going to go, okay. I made bookmarks for us to pass out with QR codes on the back. So we're going to go do some stealth missions today after we're done recording this.
We should also post about that. I have some forever stamps at home just laying around. We could send some in the mail.
So the boys and I actually talked about their business cards on their episode because I made them unbox them on air. And
I love that.
So if you're interested in receiving a few of our bookmarks,
we'll put them here, maybe.
Maybe, but what we'll do is if you're interested in receiving some of our bookmarks, you can email us. Our email is always linked in the description, and we will email us your address, and we'll send you a few of the business cards, the bookmarks, so that you can pass them out to your friends.
Yeah.
Or keep them for yourself.
Yeah. Maybe like the first 15.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, we'll drop them in the mail. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Yeah. Whatever you believe.
Yeah.
Happy that.
Merry Christmas, kiss my ass. Anyway, you want to talk about the book?
I would love to.
All right. I finally got my hold for Tourist Season by Brynne Weaver. It is the Seasons of Carnage Book 1.
Okay, we're excited.
We're excited. We're going to jump in with content warnings
And if you forget, she also wrote Butcher and Blackbird.
They're right there on the shelf by Kelly.
What is it called? The Ruinous Love?
Ruinous Love Trilogy.
Yes.
So we know that Brynne loves to talk about... I need to get my keyboard out of the way on my iPad. Get out! How do you make it go away? Never mind. Okay.
She did it.
All right. So we know that Brynne writes about serial killers who...
Find love.
That's
while
the
killing.
word.
Whilst killing.
Whilst in the midst of killing. So this one's no different. Let's go through the content warnings. We have wood chippers. Creative use of bird feeders, eyeballs and eye sockets, because it would not be a Brynne Weaver book without that. Lawn aerators, scrapbooking, but make it murdery. Gardening, but make it murdery too. Stalking and voyeurism, breaking and entering, including theft. References to torture, both physical and psychological.
What's happening?
One minute.
If you're not watching live, I'm sorry. If you're not watching on YouTube, Brittany is like turning her iPad.
Yeah, I'm really trying to figure out how to hold this in a way that is normal. How do I make it so that
it's like pop up after pop up.
Oh my God.
5 hours later.
I need to. Okay, no. How do I make it safe? Make it
What
so
are
that
we trying to do?
Make it so that when I adjust it, it doesn't rotate.
Okay. We're gonna scroll down and we're gonna do the lock.
Oh, see, that's what I was trying. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, sorry. I normally have my little notebook and not this big ass thing, but I didn't. I'm terrible at this, and I didn't, do that. So references.
I had the brain cell in that moment.
Yep, references to torture, both physical and psychological. Drowning. Hamburgers. I'm sorry. I didn't think it was going to happen, and then it just happened. Birds that enjoy human snacks. Vehicular collisions. A plethora of weapons. Axes, guns, needles, chainsaws, garrotes, and 3-hole punches. Explicit language and blasphemy. Murdery.
Blasphemy. I'm triggered.
Oh, no. Murdery use of ropes. Sexy use of ropes.
Oh,
medical settings and details, including trauma response activities, CPR, hospitals, and long-term recovery. Explicit sexual content, including BDSM, brat tamer kink, impact play, rough sex, adult toys, pain play, and mild knife play.
Just mild. Nothing too crazy.
This is a story of 2 serial killers falling in love, so expect general murder and mayhem. And then she kind of switches over to kind of a serious content warning. So there is an elderly person in this book who suffers with mild cognitive impairment. And what I didn't know about Brynne Weaver is that she actually was in science before she became a writer full time. And she specifically dealt with Alzheimer's research because she took care of grandparents who had dementia. And so she wrote a character who has dementia in her books. Okay. And so it was really a heartfelt content warning. So it's actually it goes through a couple of pages. So if you have a loved one who suffers with Alzheimer's, just go ahead and read that before listening to this podcast. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
The dedication. When I first announced this series, so many of you asked, will you ruin any foods? And will there be eyeballs? You are truly phenomenal, and I love you. This one's for you. Also, yes.
Because she ruined milkshakes, if you don't remember.
She ruined milkshakes. She ruined ice cream. She ruined pizza. I forget what else.
I forgot the pizza.
That was when, remember, it wasn't milkshakes. He blended up teeth and beer and pizza into a smoothie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Anyway, chapter 1, and I'm not going to go through chapter numbers because there aren't any in this book. We are opening with Harper, who is putting yet another awful tourist through the wood chipper, affectionately named Cookie Monster for its blue hue. She bumps into a little snafu when her tourist's steel leg causes a jam.
Oh, literally.
Yep. She repairs Cookie and continues sending this tourist through the machine so she can feed his remains to her raven. Yes, a bird, whose name is Morpheus. And also, she's going to feed her flower garden with these remains. Once she's cleaned up, she heads over to Arthur's house, where she helps him find his misplaced sugar bowl, texts his grandson that he is once again under the judgy bus, and makes Arthur a pastrami on rye sandwich for lunch. Yum. So Arthur is 80 years old, and he's obviously the one who suffers from dementia.
Yeah.
Okay. Harper is the same woman who Sloan and Rowan saved from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house in Butcher and
Blackbeak. That's not right. That's not right either. I was so confident too, and then I'm like, wait.
Butcher and Blackbeak. Butcher and Blackbird. She fled to Cape Carnage 4 years ago and has been acting as Arthur's gardener ever since. She also enacts vigilante justice with Cookie Monster when tourists act up.
For a second, I thought Cookie Monster was the first guy that she killed, and then it made sense.
No.
Sorry, I can't get my mic
I'm
to
just going to
me.
let you adjust that.
Sorry, my bad.
You're good. You're good. Arthur is clearly the individual from the content warnings who suffers from dementia, like I said. We switch over to the mailman character's point of view, who is Nolan, and he has come to Cape Carnage to enact revenge.
Oh, revenge.
We love revenge. So Nolan and his brother Billy were in this really horrific car accident about 4 years ago, and Nolan has come to Cape Carnage to unalive the last remaining person involved in the hit-and-run accident that took his brother's life. It's a woman, and we don't know who the woman is yet. He doesn't tell us what her name is. He managed to get 6 weeks off of his job. He is a firefighter to pursue this task, and he is thrilled to be in Cape Carnage for this 6-week period. He works in search and rescue specifically as a firefighter, which is hilarious to me because I'm like, search and rescue, and you're over here about to like murder somebody?
Someone?
Okay.
Sir, I thought you were here to save lives,
Right?
not end them.
So Nolan is our resident scrapbooker. He took this.
Yay. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I love gay people.
We do. If you're gay,
We want to be your best friend.
how do they do it? Let's do it. I just go like this. You know, we don't flip off. I do.
We're spiraling.
Yeah, sorry. Already, Tony, I'm so sorry. So what Nolan has done is he has taken the Memento Mori tattoos off of each of the three previous car crash perps to add to his scrapbook. Do you remember what Memento Mori stands for? Mm-mm. So Memento Mori stands for, or it is in Latin, remember you must die.
Oh.
So he's taken the tattoos off of the three.
Wait, so they all have this tattoo?
Yeah.
But why though?
I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't matter why. They just do. And he's cut it off their arms
ripping
and
off their skins,
put it in his little scrapbook.
their teats, the teats and the tails
on his little scrapbook. Anyway, flashing back over to Harper, she's waiting in line at the local coffee shop. Speaking of local coffee shops, Kelly and I went to a local coffee shop before we came in here to record. It was really busy, and we overheard these two bitches talking about their harem of men.
And we were like, huh?
Kelly was like, let me get my good ear over there.
What?
So Harper's ordering her usual, which is an Americano. Okay.
Go off.
Good for you. I need some sweetness in there.
I need some creamer.
We learned that she's attempted to play matchmaker for the two baristas, but there has been no luck on that end. So once it's her turn, she realizes that she's forgotten her wallet, but she knows that she has some cash floating around somewhere in her bag. The barista's like, we know you're good for it, Harper. Like, just...
We know where you live.
We know where you live. There are 300 people in this town. We know where you live.
It's
and
fine.
also you live in the cottage of the richest fucker in this town. We know where you are.
We know you've got the funds.
We know you do. So she's digging in her purse. She pulls out the remains of this Taurus leg that she had previously wrapped in tinfoil from like her bag. I don't know why it's in there. But she's searching for her money. So she's got this tinfoil leg in her she's hand.
Like throwing everything out.
Yep.
There's a piece of leg.
Yep. So from behind her, she's like, she hears a voice being like, so what's good here? And the voice is like, what did you order? Like, what's in that tinfoil? And she turns around. She sees this man. She's like, oh my God, he's so hot. And she's like, I ordered the ball meat. And he's like, what?
Huh? Did I hear you right?
She's like, I mean the meatball sub.
The ball meat.
The ball meat. And he isn't driven away by what she said. So he opts to order a turkey sandwich instead. And she's like, you should order a tea bag with it. So he orders Earl Grey with 2 tea bags. Okay. They end up taking a walk together and kind of feeling each other out. But once they're outside of Craft a Corpse, which is exactly what it sounds, Build-A-Bear but morbid, Harper's phone rings. It's Arthur, who's looking for his little black bag of murder. Because apparently Arthur would like to murder the Airbnb residents that are across the street from his house because their dog keeps pooping in his yard.
Is Arthur the dementia?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
the man with dementia.
Not
the dementia guy.
Yeah, the man with dementia is like, hey, where's my black bag? I need to
commit a
murder.
crime.
I need to commit a crime because their dog keeps pooping in my yard and they don't pick it up. It's totally a murder-worthy offense. If you can only see my backyard right now, it's full of landmines. Cold here. Anyway, Harper's like, okay, I gotta go to this man. She still has no idea what his name is, but I'm gonna head back to the Bean first. That's the coffee shop, because Arthur wants a soy chai latte, extra hot, with a dash of cinnamon, and he keeps reminding her that it needs to be extra hot. The man,
Miranda, calm down.
I know. The man walks back to the coffee shop with her, and he's asking her name, and she almost tells him what her real name is, but one of the baristas calls out Harper before she can speak, and then the mood very drastically shifts. She feels as though she has to watch her back now. She's like, I watched his eyes go cold.
Oh, I bet Harper's the one who
Yeah, so obviously Harper's the one that Nolan's here to
murder.
He asks questions of the woman who owns the inn that he's staying at for his vacation. She's able to give him some details, like where Harper lives and that she's an award-winning gardener, which he already knows from his conversation with Harper. As he's chatting with Irene, who is the owner of the inn, another man enters talking about how his drone operator called out sick. Irene informs Nolan that Sam, that's the guy, is here to film a documentary of sorts. Sam is like, okay, well, I can let you be my drone operator, because apparently that's what he specifically does with search and rescue. Yep. So he's like, yeah, you can do this until my actual drone operator comes. We learn that Cape Carnage is home to a notorious multiple deleter called the Scribe or La Plume.
Do we know if Cape Carnage is a real place?
I don't think so.
Okay.
This person would engrave words all over his victim's body, lending him his name, but he mysteriously vanished 30 years ago. And I was like, okay, Arthur, I know it's you.
Yeah.
I know it's you.
The little bag of tricks.
Nolan's intrigued, but more interested in hovering the drone over Harper and the gym bro she's currently hugging than actually doing what the producer of this documentary offered to let him do, not hired. They end up getting all the footage they need eventually, and Nolan decides to take a walk on over to Harper's place, where he finds the gym bro, whose name is Jake Hornell, watching Harper tittle her bits through the window while he jerks off.
Goodness gracious.
Good Lord, sir.
Getting in real hot.
So Nolan uses his garrote on this dude. Is that how you say it? It's like the thing that has the wire between it.
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, if I'm saying it wrong, just know I've never heard it before, and I only, have read the word. So I'm just saying it how I think it's supposed to be said. So he uses the garrote on this dude, who promises he won't do it again after he pisses himself from fear. Nolan tells Jake he better make sure that that's a promise that Jake will keep. So he chops up Jake's head with the garrote.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's pause for 1 second. Sorry. They lost Claire's bag. Mm-hmm. Second time in a row. It's been lost. I'm having her put in as much time as possible if she's trying to. They already have her approved off for all these days.
Well,
I'll have to call you. You need to let them know you can work the 30th. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
My kids just left, if you're listening.
Yeah. All this will be cut out, so it's fine.
Okay. All right. So a head has been cut off.
A head has been cut off. So he watches Harper make her coffee the next morning, feeling rather impatient with her.
Peach.
What's out there?
I don't see anything.
All right. We soon learn that his impatience is rooted in his need for her to find what he's left for her.
Sorry.
You're good. I'm going to read that again.
Okay.
All right. So he watches Harper make her coffee the next morning, feeling rather impatient, and we soon learn that his impatience is rooted in his need for her to find what he's left for her. Our man left Jake's severed head inside her bird feeder, which she hasn't noticed, despite her taking her coffee outside to sip on and start her morning.
This is the extra usage of the bird feeder.
Yeah. Morpheus is there cawing at her, and she astutely ignores him, much to Nolan's chagrin.
Morpheus is like, Mom, will you assist me here with this?
Excuse me, would you look over here at what's in my feeder? Someone decided to give me a little treat. When she finally looks up and sees the head in the bird feeder, her response is not at all what Nolan spent all night picturing. She's calm, There's not a trace of fear or even horror in her eyes. She calls Arthur and is like, "Excuse me, sir, did you put Jake's head in my bird feeder?" She even goes so far as to like pull the severed head out and sniff it once she's removed it from the box, which is when Nolan...
She's like jostling it
She's
around.
like only when he sniffs my ear.
Guess her son likes to sniff her.
He stopped doing... Well, he still sniffs me, but not my ear.
Oh.
He likes to like sniff my neck. I don't know. He's weird.
Okay, Norman Bates.
So once she sniffed the head, he's like, "Excuse me, that was so weird. Why did you do that?" That's when he calls attention to himself. So they have they have this standoff, and she's like, "Why are you here? You're
hot guy. Why?
Excuse me, hot guy. Why are you here?" Proclaiming. So he proclaims himself as her enemy, and she's like, "Okay." But this decapitation seems more like an act of friendship because Jake was definitely known as the town's creep. Shortly into their standoff, this woman named Maya shows up, and they pass their severed body parts. Nolan's been holding the hands the whole time, like gesturing at her. Yeah, they pass the body parts off as craft a corpse for some kind of shindig that's happening in town. So there's like a soapbox derby, and you put a corpse in your soapbox with you.
The fuck is this town?
That's what craft a corpse is. So they basically play on the name Cape Carnage and have this festival to kick off tourist season.
It's just like body parts mingled in with the props.
Maya tells Harper that she's there for some strawberries, and Harper tells Nolan to fuck off, and then she fucks off to help Maya find this specific strain of strawberries that she's looking for. Maya has a shop in town where she creates all kinds of concoctions. She has like a chemistry degree, and she uses that chemistry degree for whatever in the town.
Growing various
so she makes these fake blood that are flavored out of different kinds of, fruit. So strawberry is one of them. Okay. There's a raspberry one. That will come into play later. Harper watches as Nolan prepares himself for a run. She's waiting outside the inn for her chance to strike. She heads into the lobby of the inn once Nolan takes off and finds Irene's ledger to indicate that Nolan is staying in room 117, because obviously Irene is old and she doesn't use a computer to keep track of her guests. It's a book.
Okay.
Once she's entered using the master key that she had made a couple years back, she gets to snooping. She finds his prescription pill bottle, his phone number, and his bag of weapons before Arthur calls her, telling her when she's up to no good, she's supposed to include him. She tells him she's trying to decide if this is a tourist who will make Cookie Monster's acquaintance. As she's talking to Arthur, she's working to get the safe in the room open. She uses the master code, and it grants her access. And in the safe, that's where she finds his scrapbook. She takes his weapon and his scrapbook and leaves a note. Then she uses his knife to puncture the tire on his rental car before she heads home. At home, she goes through the scrapbook and finds the men who were in the car that killed Nolan's brother. Basically, he has specific pages dedicated to each of these men. And there are also pages that are dedicated showing Nolan's recovery, because he was so severely injured that they didn't know if he was going to be able to walk again.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Once she gets to the front of the book, she finds a list of names and where they were seated in the vehicle that killed Billy, which was Nolan's brother again. She finds the name Harper Starling, driver. Harper was the first person that, not Harper, this woman, Autumn, that's the first person that Harper killed.
Got it.
Okay. Which, I'll be honest, we don't get into that really in this book.
So he thinks that this is her, but she's really just taking on her.
She stole her identity, basically. So when Nolan arrives...
Identity theft is a crime.
Yep, but she doesn't care. Do you think that they care, Kelly? For real? When Nolan gets back to his room, he immediately notices something's amiss. He calls it a shift in energy, or he's actually a werewolf and can smell Harper, but he knows that something is off. He immediately rips open the wardrobe and notes that his tools are missing. When he can't get the safe open, he realizes he's surely been duped.
This bitch.
She
got me.
Irene is like, "It's okay. Here's the master code. It's the code for all the safes in the room." And that's where he finds the note that Harper left him. He goes to his car to make his way over to Lancaster Manor, that's Arthur's house, and realizes quickly that he will have to find an alternate means because his tire is flat thanks to the knife that Harper jammed into it.
You done got.
You got. Once he gets to the manor, documentary Sam is there telling him all about La Plume. Oh, okay, so there's the scribe. There's the scribe and there's La Plume, and they are two different people, I guess. And the Lancaster family and the history of the town, or at least as much as documentary Sam is willing to part with, because he's like, I'm not going to give away all of my secrets. You have to watch my documentary to find out more. Clearly, documentary Sam thinks that Arthur killed his daughter and is La Plume. He offers to take Nolan back to the inn, but Nolan feigns that he's going to keep running. When Sam leaves, Nolan hears a diesel engine starting up and the caw of a raven, and he starts towards Harper's cottage. She knows the moment Nolan is near because he cuts off the wood chipper that she was putting Jake's body through. They go back and forth about Nolan's scrapbook, with Harper literally holding him off at gunpoint before he brings up the sleuth seeker group and Sam Porter. That's when Harper begins to try to strike a deal with Nolan. Her offering is that she will give him his scrapbook if he helps her run Sam out of town. They can't kill him, or the rest of this sleuth seeker group will descend on the town, and Harper herself can't get too close without thrusting herself back in the spotlight. She will give Nolan back his scrapbook if he agrees to help her. She also realizes that he will kill her once he has his scrapbook and decides that she'll have to kill him first. So the sleuth seeker group is an online group that's dedicated to solving unsolved crimes. And Sam is one of the leaders of this group. They have like a Discord server, like Reddit, like subreddits and all this stuff. And they kind of go through and solve unsolvable crimes. Okay.
Pretty cool.
Yep. So Harper is with Lucas, who is Arthur's grandson, discussing his old soapbox derby car, which was called the Pocket Rocket. She's planning on using this when she enters the town's annual race, which is in just 2 weeks. They also discuss Lucas reopening the distillery because the Lancaster family owned a distillery, and how that is taking up so much of his time. So he's limited on how much time he can spend with his dear old grandfather. So he's super thankful for Harper being able to be there for his grandpa. He ends up telling Harper that he sold the land that his family owns by the Ballantine River, which just so happens to also be littered with Arthur's kills. That's where he would bury the bodies. The sale on the property is going to close in just 3 weeks' time, and so Harper's like, shit. They also discuss the documentary. When she leaves Lucas, she calls Ball Meat Guy. That's what she saved him as in her phone. That's Nolan. To blackmail him into helping her clean up this mess.
Dig up all the bodies?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Which is on the cover, I think, is them digging.
Yep, it is. There was also a lot of talk about Adam in this chapter. Adam was her boyfriend who was murdered at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house in Butcher and Blackbird before Sloane and Rowan were able to get her and like save her.
Okay.
There's some back and forth. That's my next one. So at this point in the book, I was like, am I right? This book is about Autumn, right? And then when she mentioned Adam, I was like, yes, I am right. Okay. The next chapter is mostly dedicated to Harper and Nolan seeking out the first of the 16 bodies that they have to exhume over the next 3 weeks on the Ballantine River. There is some back and forth bants between the pair, and they're able to solve this puzzle about where the body is located swiftly once they stop arguing. She kind of has the exact measurements of where the bodies are located, but she only had one tape measure to measure it out. And so Nolan's like, okay, look, we'll tie this rope off, measure it out, swim across the river. You'll hold on to the rope, it'll mark it, and we'll be good. We don't need to have a second tape measure. Yeah. So as the pair progresses through their nightly escapades of exhumation, Harper finds herself growing more and more attracted to Nolan, to the point where she's forgetting to turn the stove on while trying to brew her coffee each morning. Or is it simply that she is that exhausted from their nightly digging? You get to decide, because I don't care.
Or is it both?
Either way, she thinks that Nolan's hot and thinks it would be significantly easier to hate him if she also didn't find him so attractive. As she's pouring her coffee, she hears a crash from outside of her cottage that has her boiling hot coffee under her hand. She doesn't even stop to run it under cool water before she rushes out to check on the situation, which is Arthur, who has crashed his golf cart into a fence.
Son of a bitch.
What ensues is a very tender talk between Harper and Arthur, where Arthur tells Harper he feels like he's forgetting himself, and that's why he needs to kill someone so that he can remember who he is.
You must go commit a crime.
You know what? In order for me to remember who I am, I have to commit crimes.
Same.
Harper tells him that he is kind and her best friend, and they both end up choking up a little bit. Now, I have to tell you, Arthur is very curmudgeonly. Okay.
Just like a grumpy old man.
And so when he chokes up, he's still kind of trying to maintain his gruff facade. Okay. I love him. I love Arthur. I thought that she was going to kill him at the end of the book, and I was like, I will sob.
Arthur.
As they're talking, that pesky drone that Sam has is hovering near them, and Harper decides once and for all that Nolan Rhodes has got to go.
She gets her shotgun out and blasts.
She doesn't. She doesn't blow this guy away. Nolan finds himself doing more and more for Harper, like buying her better shovels, bear spray, a camp stove, but it's for her safety. Okay, he has to be the one to take her out.
He likes her. It's for her safety.
It's for her safety. He's like, it's just going to make our job easier, but at the same time, we know it's because he finds her cute, and we know this because he tells us
over and over,
over and over. He ends up running into Harper inside one of the local shops, and they get into it again. They're always getting into it. This time it's about how he needs to stop spying on her with the drone. He's like, that wasn't me. And so they start bickering again about Sam and Arthur being suspected as La Plume. She ends up storming out of the shop and heads in the direction of home with Nolan watching her go. But that's when he sees Sam standing across the street, who is intently watching Harper. But it's in the way that a hunter would watch its prey. Okay, very creepy.
Yeah.
Nolan ends up talking to Sam, who's like, do you know who that was? And Nolan's like, no, but he notices that Sam's still watching her intently, which is raising some alarm bells for Nolan. Since Harper told Nolan to leave her alone, she doesn't expect him to show at their nightly grave digging expedition, so she is really surprised to see him under this tarp on the riverfront with a camp stove making hot chocolate. He seems oblivious to the fact that she didn't expect him to be there and offers her hot chocolate anyway, at which point she remembers that she has some of Maya's life-changing fake blood in her bag. Life-changing.
Okay.
So she suggests that they top off their hot bev with the fake blood. As they're stoically sitting beside one another, Harper hears a noise by the parking lot. She listens closely, but it's at that moment that Nolan starts to have a mini meltdown. What do you think happened?
The blood?
You see, when Maya said that the fake blood was life-changing, she actually meant that it was laced with magic mushrooms.
Oh my
and when Harper topped his off, she didn't measure, and she kind of topped him off with a lot.
A lot of shrooms.
A lot. She gave him a large dose of shrooms, so he is fully tripping.
Oh, gosh.
They end up hiding in the river, much to Harper's chagrin, because she literally can't swim. And Nolan is clutching her hand the whole while. He tells her that he thinks she's beautiful, and she tells him that's the drugs talking.
All three of you that I can see right now are beautiful.
He tells her he's always found her beautiful, even after he found out who she was. The person at the river is clearly Sam, giving the drone operator directions. So once the coast is clear, they're able to exit the water. Nolan only lets go of her hand once they are safely on shore. So Nolan is fully tripping, and Harper's like, okay, someone's going to have to take care of you, and I guess it's going to have to be me. So she takes him back to her place, realizing she can't take him back to the inn in this condition. He feels the need to keep touching her throughout the drive. Once they're in the house, she's like, go take a shower. Put your clothes in the washer when you're done. I have something that you can wear. It's fine. He meets her in the kitchen when he's finished, and they're both in robes. Harper is chasing a beer with tequila. They argue a bit about her being heartless enough to leave a hit and run incident, because they talked about how her parents died, which was in a hit and run accident. He's like, I can't believe that you would be heartless enough to leave a hit and run accident after that's how you lost your parents. She tells him that he doesn't know anything about her, and then she tells him that she hates him before they, and before you know it, these two are making out in the kitchen. Okay.
They're just like angrily yelling at each other, and then it leads to making out.
Their mouths are crashing into one another.
Oh my God, they're crashing.
Yeah, they're crashing. She feels his stick through his robe and tells him that she wants him to fuck her like he hates her. I was like, wow, okay, that escalated quickly.
I thought you hated her.
Yeah, he's like, you're acting like a brat. So she tells him to fuck her like he hates her. Please.
Please,
they end up using the robe tie for a little light choking. I was thinking, because he's, all right, so he's hidden from behind. And so I was thinking, it was in her mouth, like horse reins.
He's just falling.
Yeah.
That's what Brittany was visualizing, at least.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
In her mouth, not around her neck.
Nope. So,
as the author probably intended.
You know what, Brynne? If you're watching, let us know.
Paint the picture, please.
Paint the picture. There was no protection used because she's on the pill and clean, and she trusts him.
Of course she is.
She trusts him. Ma'am, he wants to murder you.
Yes.
But she'll let him hit it raw? Okay.
It's fine.
Anyway.
It's fine. I'm counting my days.
Once they're both finished, Nolan goes to the bathroom to get a washcloth and a towel to help clean her up and move the laundry from the dryer to the washer because the washer clearly chimed right when they finished.
Just in time.
When he returns to the living room to provide some aftercare for her, she's gone.
She's taking care of that shit herself.
Yep, so he sits there waiting for the high to fade. The high from the mushrooms, not the after effects of having sex.
Not the gasm.
Not the gasm. Later, after he's folded their laundry, he takes the clean clothes up to her room where he once again notes that she's sleeping with every light on in her room. Because when he was spying on her after he murdered Jake, he noticed that every single light was on in the house. He hovers over her and drops her a little kiss. When he pulls back, he notes that she's glowing, so apparently the drugs haven't worn off yet. And I think this is a good point for you to...
And we decided, since we're not sponsored yet...
Brought to you by...
We will...
And now a word from our fake sponsor.
And now a word from our fake sponsors. Sponsor.
Our single sponsor.
Our only one.
Our only one.
I know you're on the edge of your seat while I search through my phone for this.
Yeah.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Yeah.
Today's episode is sponsored by Late Night Thoughts. The thoughts that only show up when you're tired, lonely, and absolutely should not be texting anyone. Late Night Thoughts specializes in poor decisions like rereading old messages, romanticizing bare minimum behavior, and convincing yourself it would actually be chill if we hooked up again. Side effects may include confidence spikes, regret naps, and deleting the conversation the next morning like it never happened. Late night thoughts because your morals go to bed at 9, but your imagination stays up until 2.
Thank you, Late Night Thoughts, for partnering with this episode. Use code Late Night for 10% off. Anyway, this is also going to be the time that I take to remind you that at 500 followers on TikTok, we are doing a giveaway for bookshop.org. So make sure that you follow us over there so that you can comment on the post when it drops, when we hit that 500. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And now back to the book.
Back at ya.
Back at ya with Taurus season. Harper is nowhere to be found the next day. Nolan calls out for her, but only her pretty murder bird replies. The bird literally says, pretty murder bird.
Pretty murder bird.
Pretty murder bird. He ends up hearing that damn drone again and tracks it hovering over Lancaster Manor, so he speaks with the operator briefly, giving him some bullshit story about hearing something about La Plume at a bed and breakfast that is far, far away from the manor. Then he goes to the police station to try and sway the sheriff to his side. But that doesn't exactly work out as planned because obviously all cops are bad. And it kind of seems to make the sheriff kind of suspicious of him, especially when the sheriff mentions Jake and how Nolan was the one flying the drone for Sam Porter just 6 days ago, which is when Jake went missing. He texts Harper later to ask her if he should pick her up at 9, but she doesn't respond. So he ends up waiting at the river for her anyway with more hot chocolate, but she never shows. That's when he digs up the remains of Jake that he buried in the spot that he had originally intended to bury Harper.
Oh.
He planned this out. It was premeditated.
But he doesn't know yet, right? That it's not...
No, he doesn't know that she's not
they
Harper.
haven't fully.
Yeah, he does not know that she's not Harper.
Okay.
She doesn't text him back because Arthur took a bad fall and she had to take him to the emergency room. The doctor wants to know about the potential signs of worsening Alzheimer's, and Harper points out a few alarm bells, such as Arthur crashing his golf cart and thinking people are stealing his shit. There's a whole running bit where he's like, someone stole my Stefano Ricci's, and she was like, you're Christina Ricci's, what do you mean? Or Ricci's, that's right.
Ricci's?
Not your Christina Ricci's, and he's like, you Neanderthal. It's Stefano.
You classless biatch.
Yeah. So anyway, as they're talking, there is a ruckus kicking up nearby. Some asshole is yelling at the nurses and doctors who are trying to stitch him up, and he ends up knocking a pregnant nurse down, and Harper's like,
You're mine.
You're mine. First tourist of the season. We're going to get him.
Got you.
So she gets Arthur settled in and goes home. When she wakes up the next morning, it's with a mission. Number 1, she has to throw Sam off her trail. And number 2, we have to take this drunk man out. She hides distinct items from her past life in an abandoned house, and then she texts the images to Sam on the Discord server, Sleuth Seekers, so that he will go and find this because, remember, Harper has a past. Mm-hmm. She then poses as a pizza delivery driver and finds the hotel of the drunk man. She points a gun at him, telling him to keep quiet, and she might let him live. All the while, she's thinking about Nolan and how much she misses that stick. So Nolan goes over to her cottage the next day because she never returned his text last night or the one that he sent this morning. When he gets there, he tells her that he was at the river waiting for her, and she tells him something else came up. As they're chatting, he hears a noise from behind the cottage. It sounds like somebody crying out for help, but it's kind of muffled. They look at each other. She slams the door in his face, and then he takes off running around the cottage to find this man tied up on the ground with a dirty piece of cloth used as a gag.
What?
There's a whole bunch of gardening equipment strewn all about too. The pair end up arguing about their feelings, and then Nolan realizes that he is falling for Harper.
What about this man, though? Where did he
They're
come
just,
from?
you know what? He's just laying there. And as they're arguing, old boy somehow manages to break free and use a lawn aerator to hurt Nolan. So Harper uses an axe to chop him in the neck. She and Nolan end up yelling at each other some more before she walks off, tossing the finger at him over her shoulder. Her own middle one, not the man's.
She's just holding up the hand.
His hand is still attached to the body. Don't worry. So she flicks him off as she goes. We don't flip off. I do. Okay, so let me backtrack. The man that is tied up in her backyard is the man who knocked the pregnant nurse down.
Okay.
Now, Harper has been in this town for 4 years. She knows everybody in the town. The nurse has been going through IVF treatments for 7 years at this point. So the nurse that he knocked down is pregnant with her miracle baby. Oh. And she saw red. She's like, she is so nice. And she and her husband have been trying so fucking hard. You've got to go.
Just doing it and doing it.
We're doing it
well.
So Harper does tell Nolan about Arthur being in the hospital and explains that that's why she wasn't at the river last night. Nolan was like, you could have called me because I would have come because he hates seeing her upset. And she's like, let me remind you, we are enemies.
That sometimes screw.
Only that one time while you were on drugs. All right. So it's opening night of tourist season. And apparently this town has a production, like a play that goes on opening night. Mm-hmm. This year, it's Beauty and the Beast. And there are content warnings. And Nolan is like, it's so weird that a Disney play has to have content warnings. And she was like, this is Cape Carnage. Everything has a content warning.
What do you expect?
Harper's there waiting for Arthur when Nolan approaches her. He sits down beside her, starts stealing her popcorn before Arthur shows up. They're bickering about his scrapbook while they wait for Arthur. Once Arthur and Lucas show up, Nolan kind of inches closer to Harper, which Lucas is like, okay, that's weird, but whatever.
Who are you?
And then Lucas is throwing Harper under the judgy bus. Remember that Lucas and Harper have this history because Arthur is his grandfather, so they kind of take turns throwing each other under Arthur's judgy bus.
Okay.
Yeah. Arthur and Nolan shake hands, and then they both end up stealing her popcorn. So they're both just... She's in the middle. They're eating the popcorn.
Some besties.
She's like, hey, Arthur, if I give you milk duds, will you trade me seats? Because I don't want to sit next to Nolan. And I'm going to go get myself some more popcorn. Once she's in line for concessions, she's accosted by Sam Porter, who tells her, you look so familiar. And the only Harper Starling on record was part of a hit and run in Maryland, and she drove her car into the ocean. So who the fuck are you? She's really shaken when she returns to Nolan and Arthur because Sam alluded that to the fact that he knows that she is Autumn. Mm-hmm. And then he gave her his card and was like, call me if you have anything that you want to tell me. Oh. So she sits back down between Nolan and Arthur because Nolan bribed the old man with Maltesers. And he's like, I'm sorry, Maltesers, they win over milk duds. Arthur ends up having...
I don't know what those are.
They are like malt balls.
Okay.
Maltesers are British, though.
Oh,
yeah.
Got it. Okay. I'm like, I know malted milk balls.
Yeah, they're like, what are those ones called? Whoppers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like Whoppers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So Arthur has a lapse in memory where he forgets who Nolan is, but Nolan just kind of rolls with it and once again reintroduces himself. Now, one thing about Nolan is that when he feels the need to charm people, he lays on his Southern accent because he's from Maryland. So he's really trying to lay it on thick with Arthur. The lights go down and Harper feels a tear rolling down her cheek because Arthur is forgetting who he is once again. And as the tear is rolling down her cheek, Nolan reaches over and holds her hand. And he holds her hand through all of Act 1. And then he offers to go get a refill of popcorn and bevs during intermission, at which time Arthur tells Harper that she cannot tell Nolan who she really is. Nolan asks her to dinner when the show is over, and Arthur's like, you should go. She reflects on the time when she first met Arthur, who saved 3 little girls from a creepy tourist. Harper had intended to save the day, but Arthur beat her to it. And then they really bonded over this. So basically on the day that she arrived in town, this same car kind of kept driving back and forth past her. And she was like, well, that's suspicious. That's weird. But he wasn't actually looking at her. He was looking at these 3 little girls playing on a playground.
Creepy.
Yeah.
So
Arthur murdered that tourist before he could get to those little girls.
It doesn't take much to get murdered in a Cape Carnage.
It sure doesn't. So they decide to wait for dinner until all the tourists figure out where they're going to go. And they end up going to this park and swinging on the swings for a little bit before Nolan gets down on his knees for Harper, asking her for a taste. And she's like, I'm not a snack. If you want a taste, you better finish the whole goddamn meal. Oh, gosh. So they engage in sexual activities on the swings. He gets her out and then fucks her on the swings in this very public park, using the swing as leverage.
Oh. Like a sex swing.
Like a sex swing, but normal.
Wow. On a playground.
There
could children may play later.
You sickos. They end up having dinner and then going to dig up more bones. How romantic. Harper at dinner, he's asking her questions about herself, but she deflects them, but has no problem probing Nolan about him and his family. When they're finished with their exhumation for the night, she once again walks home. She refuses to let this man drive her back to her house. The next day, Nolan runs into Sam at the inn. They talk briefly about Harper, and as soon as he leaves, Nolan breaks and enters into his room searching for anything. But it's a mess, of course. So he does end up being able to find pictures of different things, like notes about Harper's comings and goings, things that he feels that only he should know about Harper, like how she chews her lip when she's anxious and all kinds of stuff. He takes pictures of these things, but in particular, he finds coordinates. And I didn't write down what the coordinates were in my notes, but he noted the coordinates as well as specific dates and times attached to these coordinates. And that's going to come into play here in a little bit. As he's leaving Sam's room, he bumps into the sheriff, so he pretends that he was knocking on Sam's door to give him some information about mountain biking, because he kind of lied to Sam and was like, oh yeah, I'm here for mountain biking. That's why I'm here. Nothing nefarious, just for mountain biking. So he's I just was going to tell him, what happened. The sheriff doesn't really believe him, but goes with it anyway. His parting words are to ask Nolan once again about Jake and the other missing tourists, and then advising him to take care of Harper. Okay. So it's the day of the soapbox derby, and Harper is ready to go. She makes a joke to Nolan about being the only thing to slow her down if the brakes fail, and not realizing how hard that joke's about to hit. So she's basically like, I don't need to make sure that my brakes work. Just you go right in front of me and that'll slow me down.
That'll be fine.
So when it's her turn, she's careening down the hill. She hears the announcer yelling something about breaking records, and she's having more fun than she's had in a long time, laughing in a way that's uninhibited. But that's when she realizes that her brakes don't work and her steering mechanism is shot. She's gaining momentum as she shoots downhill, nearly crashing into tourists. Nolan steals a child's bike and is chasing after her. This part, I just pictured him on this little pink bike with streamers, just
the whole thing
pedaling after her. It's she's speeding toward this cliff, which will take her into the sea.
Oh no, and she can't swim.
So he's yelling at her to undo the harness. And I don't know if it's stuck or if she's panicking and it feels stuck, but it's stuck. She shouts at him that she can't swim, and he's like, oh my God. He wrecks the bike because the car and the bike hit this curb, and the car obviously keeps going, but the bike crashes, and she loses sight of him. He loses sight of her because the car is plunging over the cliff and into the sea, all the while she's literally screaming his name the whole time. So he sprints over the cliff, dives into the water after her. Once he comes back up for air, he doesn't see the car anymore. But remember, they craft a corpse to ride in the soapbox derby with her, and hers specifically had streamers that were attached. So the streamers are still like floating on the top of the water, and he's like, I know that's where she is. So he goes over there.
That's smart.
He goes under, opens his eyes, sees her. She's screaming, so all of her air is bubbling up in front of her, and then he watches her chest like convulse as her lungs fill with water, but he does manage to cut her free from her harness. They resurface. The sailboat is there to help her. He knows that she's not breathing. Her lips are kind of turning blue. Once they're on the sailboat, he's search and rescue, remember, so his instincts take over. He starts performing chest compresses on her.
Oh yeah, he's been trained in this.
Compresses. He like I said, his training immediately takes over. So he's doing chest compressions on her. Obviously, she lives. And I was like, I forgot that he was a first responder, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? No one's instincts are that good. And then I was like, never mind, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. He's trained. I forgot.
He's trained for this.
I forgot. So he decides that he will accompany her to the hospital, even as she points out that she doesn't want him to have to relive the trauma from when his brother died by accompanying her. And that's when he's like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Here she is worrying about my trauma and how I could react to going to the hospital with her. And I didn't even think twice about I was so worried about her. And that's when he's like, oh my God, I might be in love with her.
Do I love you?
But do I love you?
Am I healing?
Nolan spends 3 whole days at the hospital with Harper. He also spends his nights exhuming bodies for her so that she can rest. And he returns to her cottage to her nightly because he has to make sure that she's okay. On one particular night, she seduces him, and then he proceeds to make sweet, sweet love to her.
Sweet love.
Sweet love.
No choking with rope
He was
ties.
like, this time I'm laying my claim to you like I told you I would all those times ago.
Missionary style.
Missionary style. No, literally.
No thrills here.
No thrills, no horse reins, just severe eye contact. And then he leaves to go check on Sam. She texts Lucas to get the location of the bag and Nolan's murder bag this time, and braves the basement alone to get Nolan his things back. Obviously, she has a lot of trauma about the basement because that's where Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.0 took place. He kept him locked in the basement, remember?
Oh, yeah, I do.
We learn more about her trauma that revolves around her time spent in Harvey Mead's basement because the doors in Arthur's basement look exactly like the ones that were in Harvey's basement, and she has a visceral reaction to it. She actually vomits in Arthur's basement because she's like reflecting. Harvey, like, Adam used to get her up on his shoulders so that they could try to break out, and they would scream for help, and he actually broke both of Adam's legs, like, as a result. And so she just, like, obviously has a trauma response.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's terrified.
So Nolan's dumbass, flashing forward, gives Arthur his own murder bag from Harper's cottage, and the old man finally kills the guy whose dog was shitting in his yard.
He had it coming.
When Nolan tells Harper, she's like, he played you. That man played you and you fell for it. Now we got to go figure out what the hell's going on. So when they find him, because Harper has Arthur's location, which smart.
Yeah, really smart.
Really smart. So they find him using his location. He has a memory lapse when Harper and Nolan get to him. They're able to calm him down enough to get him loaded up into his car, and Harper takes him home and leaves Nolan to clean up the mess. He runs back to his hotel, deciding once and for all that he's going to be staying at Harper's from now on to keep her safe. So he's gathered up all of his things and he's loading it into his rental when from behind him, he hears something about, like, Sam saying something about a murder kit. A murder kick. Well, that looks like a murder kit if I've ever seen one.
Oh.
And he turns around, and so Nolan turns around, and that's when Sam kicks him in his bad knee and tells him to follow his instructions explicitly, or you're going to die, and so is Harper.
Nolan's like, mind your fucking business.
Nolan is like, God damn, dude, leave me alone. So she's texting Nolan if everything's going okay with covering up the murder that Arthur committed, and he's not replying to her. And she's like,
The fuck?
The fuck? That's when she notices that her texts aren't even being shown as delivered. So she's like, I'm going to go find him. She goes to the inn, breaks into his room again, sees that all of his stuff is gone, and she's like, I just gave him back his scrapbook and his murder bag. Did he abandon ship?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is going on? She's freaking out. And that's when she hears the drone operator talking on the phone. And she specifically hears something about roads. And she's like, they have Nolan. That's his last name.
Oh, okay. I was like, what about
he's
the
like,
roads?
he's like, how are we going to get Rhodes to talk?
He's like,
Gotcha.
these guys. Got it.
Got him.
Got him.
Got him. She follows him to the parking lot where she bludgeons him with a 3-hole punch before stealing all of his equipment and taking off like a bat out of hell to the distillery to save her almost boyfriend.
They're only in the talking stage, as the youth say. My talking stage.
Do we fuck in the talking stage?
No.
Oh, well, they're fucking.
Oh,
so.
well, they do.
Oh, they're adults. You're right.
The youth do not.
You're right. I forgot.
Keep it in your pants.
No drugs or humping.
Yes. Do you want to tell that story? Real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Hold on, Tony.
Tony, strap in for a teen story. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Claire, we're dealing with the teenage growing pains because she has her license and wants immediate freedom, adulthood.
Yep.
And I'm like, no.
Nay,
There's a curfew.
Nay. You
what?
will have rules.
Yes. So communication is key. And she texted, can I go to this guy's house? Griffin?
Yep, it was Griffin.
Look at me. And I was like, in my little ornery mood. And I was like, okay, that's fine as long as there's no humping and no drugs.
No drugs and no humping.
And I thought it was hilarious.
Yep.
So I texted my sister and Brittany in our little group chat.
Yep.
And Brittany's like, oh, I'm going to text her.
On it. I sure did. And I said, no humping or drugs at Griffin's house.
Yes.
And then Kelly's sister texted her something similar.
Yeah. So then they're texting me the screenshots, and I am manic and giggling so hard that I literally peed my pants a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Adam's like, what's going on? So I tell him the situation. So he's like, oh, I'm going to text her.
Yep.
He sends her a message, and then Claire writes us all back.
Yep.
And she's like,
Everyone,
you guys. Everyone. In all caps.
Yep. I will not be doing drugs or humping anyone.
It was so
And see,
funny.
if my husband hadn't been on the sea, as we say,
Sailing the
seas, we would have gotten him in on the joke too, because I'm sure that he would love it.
It was so fun. Listen, troll your teens. Troll them.
Troll everyone in your life, especially your husband.
Because there's some serious behind it,
Yeah.
seriousness behind it, but it's also fun.
Yeah, and also it showcases how good of a relationship we all have with Claire, that she was just like, stop it.
I won't be humping, okay?
And then there was a moment where Dadum, that's what we call Kelly's husband, Dadum texted, and that's what he's in my phone as, where Dadum texted and was like, if you come home with a hickey on your neck, I'm taking all 4 wheels off your car.
Yes. She's like, got it.
Got it. Keeping it real. Got it. So no coming home with hickeys or Dadum will steal your tires.
Yeah, and no humping or drugs.
And that goes for all of you listeners.
Even you, Tony.
Even you, Tony, and Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat. So Sam's trying to interview Nolan, who keeps acting like a shithead and bringing up that kidnapping someone at gunpoint is also highly illegal. Harper makes a noise kind of far away that leads to Sam going to investigate, and then she kind of works on freeing Nolan's ankles, and they bicker about her being there to save the day. He's like, you're supposed to be keeping yourself safe because I love you. Not really, but he's like, get out of here before he gets you too.
She's like, shut your damn mouth.
She's like, shut up.
I kind of like you.
I kind of like you. So Sam returns, and once again, he's trying to interview Nolan, but this time Harper sneaks up behind him and body slams his ass before knocking him down and twisting his ankle pretty badly with Nolan's help, because he stands up and kind of like, I don't know, does something. I forget. I forget.
Like, what does he do?
I forget. I forget.
That.
So she frees his hands, and they're kissing as Sam's screaming at them, help me, you fucking psychos. Because he's broken his, like, we hear the tendons pop and everything. Ugh. So Harpin, who?
We've had too much coffee.
I know. Too much coffee. Harper lets this man's body fall a full level in the distillery, and they're like, oh, we see that blood pulling out from his head. Pretty sure he's dead. They decide not to remove his body, but rather erase any evidence that they were here to make it look like an accident.
So smart.
I know. As they're getting ready to leave the scene, they hear another person creeping around, but they leave before investigating who it is.
Who could it be? We don't care.
It doesn't matter. We need to get the fuck out of Dodge before we're discovered. They manage to escape unscathed and go back to the cottage where he ties her up with ropes. This is the part that I was talking about when we were at the coffee shop. He ties her up with some ropes, taking over an hour to get the knots exactly where he wants them.
An hour, Jesus.
And then he's like, come on, ride this stick. And she's like, okay. And then he puts...
she hops over because everything's tied up except her legs.
And he won't help her. And then he puts some clamps on her nipples.
Oh.
While she's riding his stick. Almost got a little crazy there. So he's got the clamps, and then he takes this needle out of a package, and he fucking pierces her nipples while she's riding him.
Oh. Okay.
I was like, yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, there's a pain kink, but that's like a lot of pain.
And he literally sticks jewelry in while she's on him.
And she's just like...
while he's penetrating
have
her.
at it.
And she's like, yeah. Cool. So...
yeah, I like this.
Love it. So
she's like, yeah.
Cool. No, like she's really into it. She sends him pictures while he's... oh, okay, because he leaves. Okay. The next morning...
what?
The next morning, he leaves before she wakes up, but he leaves her a note saying where he's like, he'll be back soon. And while he's gone, she's like...
she's like checking out her hardware. And
she's like, do you like it?
It's a little crooked, but it's fine.
It's fine. He's not a professional piercer, but I'll deal with it.
He hasn't been formally trained.
And then I was like, should I get my nipples pierced?
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, if I wasn't going to have another baby. I'm not pregnant right now. Macy.
But she might get her nips
But I might
done.
get my nips done once I'm not pregnant or breastfeeding anymore. You want to come?
Sure.
You want to watch?
Maybe I'll watch over your shoulder.
That's fine. Did I send you the video of the woman who was like FaceTiming her friends to be like, do you want to come watch me get my first Brazilian?
No, but
No.
I saw a live of somebody doing a Brazilian and I found out her crotch was like in full view.
It was, no, it was this woman who was like, hey, do you have any, she just called her friend. She was like, hey, do you have any plans tomorrow? And she was like, well, it depends on what time. And she was like, well, what time are you busy? And she's like, well, I should be free around 5 or 6. And she was like, cool. Do you want to come watch me get my Brazilian? And she was like, yeah.
Love to.
Love to. Nothing would please me more. So anyway, Tony, sorry.
Tony,
we digress. You can't come. Watch me get my nipples pierced. That's frowned upon.
We're not that close.
We're not that close. And I'm sure that my husband would have something to say.
Why is Tony there?
Yeah, I don't know. He'd be like, excuse me? And I'm like, we're going live on TikTok for our followers. Anyway.
We digress.
We digress. And I know exactly where I would go to get it done. And I don't know if I would want Chuck to do it or Jade at Eternal Tiger. Anyway.
Got it.
Probably Jade.
Probably Jade.
Sorry,
so
Chuck.
Jade, if you're listening.
Sorry, Chuck. Love you long time, but you cannot pierce my nipples.
Is he the
He's
Ohio
the piercer.
guy?
No.
Okay.
Chuck is the piercer at Eternal Tiger.
Got it. Hey, Chuck.
One of them. Hey, Chuck. We know you're listening. You're thinking of Chappie. Chappie did one of my tattoos. Not husband Eric did the others.
No, that's
Anyway, we digress. Nolan woke up early the next morning to go to the beach to find the coordinates that he found in Sam's room the day that he searched it, and that's where he finds the van. He memorizes the VIN number and finds the YouTube channel that Autumn and Adam had for their van life before they were taken by Harvey Mead. That's when he realizes...
That makes zero sense in my brain.
Yeah, I know. He does
He
the whole...
memorizes a
the
VIN
VIN,
number,
yep.
which is what, 16 random digits?
Yeah, I know.
And then he finds a YouTube video with this?
So he does a whole lot of digging.
Okay.
He does a whole lot of digging. So he finds the sale records, and that leads him to
The
Adam.
YouTube.
That
Okay.
leads him to...
That makes more sense.
Listen,
I'm like, listen, that doesn't make
for
any
the sake
sense.
of keeping this episode under 3 hours, I glossed over a lot. Okay?
We applaud you.
Thank you. I'm trying to do better about not having these episodes be 5 hours long. Oh, God bless.
Excuse me.
And again. So that's when he realizes, you're welcome. That's when he realizes that Harper is not the woman who killed his brother and left him for dead. He feels so guilty because he said so many vile things to this woman, and she took all of it and wasn't even guilty of what he accused her of.
She's like, okay, what else?
He thinks about how he's in love with a woman who he doesn't even know. As he's mulling over his thoughts, the Sleuth Seekers Discord chat starts blowing up because he requested to join this Discord server in his search to find out more about her. And they have a whole bunch. So they are very invested in Autumn and Adam. And that's why Sam was following her so closely. Okay. So he's mulling over his thoughts. The group chat starts blowing up. The group chat is saying that Sam and the drone operator are dead. It's time to mobilize. We're going to war.
Oh, gosh.
The whole Sleuth Seekers Discord is planning on descending on Cape Carnage.
They're out for blood, this group of fine young men and women.
And now we are in the epilogue.
Oh, okay.
So I will say this. The next book, obviously going to follow Nolan and Harper some more.
Which I like.
Me too.
Because I like them.
Sign me up immediately.
I kind of want to read this so I can get all the details.
You should.
It sounds
100%.
fun.
This book was
really fun.
This book was so good. And listen to the audiobook.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's told in duet narration, so
I love it.
I love when it's duet. The epilogue takes us back to the distillery, circling back around to the person who was walking up to the distillery when Nolan and Harper were escaping. That person is the sheriff, who sees Sam's deceased body and talks aloud about what he's gotten himself into. Oh, Sam, what have you gotten yourself into? Very quickly, the drone operator walks into the distillery and sees the sheriff, and he's like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you're here. I need to file a police report. I was attacked in the parking lot at the inn. And that's when the sheriff grabs onto the drone operator's head, his name's Vinny, and bashes it into the concrete. He pulls out a knife, which he stabs into himself before shooting Vinny in the head.
Oh, to make it look like self-defense.
As he's shooting... Well, before he shoots Vinny in the head, he says, I heard you came looking for La Plume. And then he shoots him. And to Vinny's dead body, he says, you found him.
Oh, gosh.
Bum, bum, bum! The sheriff is La Plume, La Plume is Arthur's sworn enemy.
Oh, so maybe it'll center on those guys.
So I loved this book so much. It was a 4.5-star read for me.
Yeah.
I literally loved it so much. Horniness, it gets a 4 out of 10. Because I feel like it could have been way hornier.
And there were like, what, 2 sex scenes?
Only like 3. It was like maybe 2 chili peppers.
Okay.
Out of 5. So it wasn't too spicy, but it was a great story.
It was fun.
We all know that I really loved Ruinous Love. I do think that this book outweighs those by far. I didn't think I would be so into what happened to Autumn, like as I was, but here we are. In particular, I think that this worked out better than the Ruinous Love trilogy because there was no time jumping. I think that time jumps have to be done in a very particular way, and I didn't love how it was in the Ruinous Love trilogy, in particular Butcher and Blackbird. Remember how it would be like 1 year later, 1 year later, 1 year later, and it was like 7 years of these people only seeing each other once a year.
And we're like, how old are they now?
Like, right.
Now, do you think you need to read that trilogy to understand this book?
No, because there's enough detail about what happens to her in the basement. And she talks about Sloane and Rowan saving her, but you don't need to read Butcher and Blackbird to understand. No
connection besides that.
Besides the fact that they saved her from her, what would have been ultimate demise. Okay, yeah. So I said, I have a preference for how time jumps are done. I don't like huge jumps in time where we don't really know what's happening with the characters because I feel like the lack of time jump in this kind of helped develop the characters better. I also really appreciated Arthur's personality and seeing the struggles that Autumn went through with taking care of someone, as I have also watched my own grandmother take care of her mom who had dementia. And I think that Brynne's history in working with Alzheimer's research really, really shined here. I was just a huge fan of this book. So that was Taurus season. And as soon as the next book comes out, Carnage season, you can expect an episode on that because clearly we love Brynne over here.
Did you hear my stomach?
No.
Okay, good.
The headphones did not pick it up.
And I was like, oh, that's loud.
Oh, no. Is it the coffee? Is it your breakfast sandwich?
All of the above.
All of the above. So, housekeeping items once again. Don't forget to like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Spotify. The videos are available both places. If you don't want to see our faces because you're haters, you can follow us on Apple Podcasts.
We get it.
We get it.
We get it. I hate looking at it too.
It's
while
fine.
I'm editing.
I'm looking at us right now in the camera and I'm like, oh my God, I look so skinny. Why?
Wow, and I look huge.
I look so skinny.
I look huge.
It's the black. It's slimming. Anyway,
okay. I'm working on it.
we're working on it. She's working on slimming down. I'm working on getting bigger boobs.
Yes, if I could Venmo, I would.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
we can't.
We can't.
Yeah.
So at 500 followers on TikTok, we are doing that bookshop.org giveaway. If you want any of our bookmarks, the first 15 people who email us their address will get some bookmarks in the mail.
Yep, we'll get those out
Make
quick.
sure that you spread the love to your smut lovers in your life because we want this to go places.
Yeah, we're having fun, and I think more people would love to
Right.
laugh like with us and at us.
Yes,
and,
we're stupid.
have a
We're
good time.
dumbasses, and we have so much fun together.
and also follow our dumbass friends. Definitely,
Yeah.
maybe. They're
Definitely,
funny.
maybe. It's called Definitely Not.
Ah, fuck! I do that every time.
Yeah, they're-
definitely not.
I produce their show, so you will hear my voice on there. We're working on getting video for me because some of the shit that they say is ridiculous. They are
Yes.
really funny.
And just hearing Bori's laugh, it's so freaking funny.
It's really funny. You will love it. Anyway,
but you'll love us more.
You'll love us more if you are a reader. Maybe your husbands can listen to those dumbasses and you can just listen to us. Share the love. We tolerate you and we'll see you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.